Ever use those words? I'm stuck. I can't make a decision. My life really sucks. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I don't know what to do in this situation. Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? Let me help you, give you some way to fix it. And always keeping in mind everybody's situation's different. You know, all the issues or things that might come up in our lives are totally different. But I thought, I'm going to share with you how we resolved or came to the conclusion that we would move to where we're moving to. Okay, just a moment. I want to introduce myself if you're new to my channel and you clicked on it. My name is Liedy. I'm 74. I live just outside of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. That puts us about 2.5 hours north of Seattle, Washington. You got to come through the border. All my regular subscribers, hi guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week, and you have a great weekend ahead as well. Thank you for being here, and I hope all of you decide to stay to the end. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, a thumbs up is also really appreciated. Okay, have you ever been stuck? Life sucks. Can't make it. You don't know where to go. You don't know if you're coming or going. You're just feeling there is nowhere to go. You're feeling sad. You want to cry. You just can't come to a place that you can say, I can't unstuck myself in the place that I am. Well, you know, I'm hoping that me sharing this with you, and yes, it's a chit chat, so this is a great time for anybody who goes, not into it. It's a great time for you to just go, that's okay. My feelings are not hurt. Just leave quietly. Anyway, I've been in those places many times in my life where I thought, will my life ever change? That I felt so stuck, I couldn't make a decision. I didn't know where to go. But there's a couple of things that I have learned over the years that I want to share with you. And this is not a secret. This little thing that I'm going to share with you is not a secret. It's been around forever. And actually, it was Benjamin Franklin who gets credit for this. This little, what can I say, a way to figure out how to unstuck yourself, how to study, you know what, I'm control of my life. My life's not going to suck anymore. I'm going to have a good life, and I'm going to be able to answer these questions for myself. Back in the 17th century, Joseph Priestley, who was a chemist and a philosopher, wrote a letter to Benjamin Franklin. Answer needed help. And Benjamin Franklin wrote back, he said, I cannot possibly answer this for you. I just don't have that place to help you. But he told him, why don't you measure the pros and cons? And that's where you've all heard it. I'm sure we've all done it a time in our lives where back in my day, they'd say, get the big yellow pad out and put a line down the middle, and you put pros and cons. And that's how I have unstuck so many sucky things in my life, is by using that particular method. Now, I mean, you know, pros and cons, there are so many other things that you can call it, the advantages and disadvantages. You can call it the benefits and the drawbacks, the strengths and the weaknesses, positives and negatives, upsides and downsides, if you prefer those terms. So what did we have to do to move, and how did we come to a decision that this is going to be the right decision for us? And this can be applicable to anything in your lives. The most important thing is when you're going through something this devastating, because, you know, when we're stuck in our lives and we're feeling like, you know, life is being pulled out of us, it sucks, you don't want to go anywhere, we're sad and unhappy, and like I always say, we go from within, we don't go from out. There's probably help out there, but the thing that we need to remember, there are good people out there that will help us, but remember that often we don't get the help that we actually need, because learning to maneuver your life yourself, how to unstuck yourself and find your own answers, those are the best answers to live with. And oh my gosh, and especially women, you know, sometimes we feel like we're too weak, or we don't have it in us to get the right answers. And we'll sometimes think, I know I've had those moments when I was younger. Why doesn't that person help me? Like, I know they have everything to help me. They have the means, they have the knowledge, they have all of that stuff to help me, and they're not. And you know what? What a blessing that they didn't. Because first of all, getting that kind of help, you know, sometimes is only as good as the relationship is. So you could be right like back and having a really sucky life and being unhappy and not knowing what to do. So it's best we figure this out for ourselves. Okay, so when Bill and I decided that we had to move, well, first of all, what is the question? So you frame the question and say, for us it was, okay, so what do we do? Do we move to another condo? Do we look condo generally owned or owned by somebody else and you're renting from them? An apartment usually isn't, whole building is rented out. Or do we, see if maybe, there is a little house somewhere for us that we can have. There are many things that we had to consider. So since this was a difficult test, or questions for us to answer, to unstuck ourselves, to not feel like our life was going to suck because we had to move. And it's scary. I mean, at 74 and 81, you have to think through your decisions on what you're going to do. I knew there were certain things we didn't want to do. So we did this one together, but most of the time, we've maybe done a few together. Usually it's just something I do on my own because it's pertaining to myself. But this was for us. So the question is, what do we move? What's going to make us happy? That was the thing. It was what's going to make us happy. What is going to bring us the most peace of mind at our age, and the health scare that we had with Bill. So we had a lot of things to answer. So there were pros and cons. So we started writing them down. We started coming up with our answers, what Bill felt the pros were, was, and what the cons were. I mean, we were worried like the golf course is right here. Well, it's only 25-minute drive, so we can still do that. So there was a lot of negotiating going back and forth on what column we were going to put our concerns in. And when they're really difficult in your pros and cons, trying to unstuck your life and trying to come up with an answer that's going to make you happy, is then we started rating each one of our answers, like 8 out of 10, 4 out of 10, because if it was something, so how important was that answer to you? So we would put something in the pro, like only 25-minute drive, and so I would rate that as a 7 out of 10, and Bill might rate that a 5 out of 10. And so you can get some pretty precise answers going through that process. What I love about this process, and I talked about it in my last video, is coming from the inside out. Making decisions when we're stuck and we're unhappy and we're sad and we need to somehow fix our lives. The fix has got to come from here. And it is an incredible tool because you are more honest, because it's just you and that piece of paper. And you can dig pretty darn deep to find the right answers. I know there are a lot of wonderful people out there that would want to help or want to assist you in some way, or us or whatever. But it's like I said, we can't rely on other people to fix our lives, because as easily as they may fix them, they can also withdraw them. What if they're not in your life tomorrow? I don't want to be back to square one. So anyway, it's a really short video, you guys, but I really had to give it a lot of thought. And by the way, I've done that with the furniture too. I bought 2 chairs. I'm going to share that with you on my next video, because I forgot to take, some of them they arrive on Wednesday. So I'll be sharing that with you. And that's exactly how I bought some of my pieces of furniture. I did pros and cons. Do I love it? Do I really want it? Why am I thinking this is the perfect piece of furniture for us? Because this can't go on forever and ever, like buying new stuff. or maybe it can. So anyway, so I will do that sometime during the week next week. And I'm having my 3 extractions done on Tuesday. I have an appointment. We're going to go and do that. And if you're saying, what on earth is she talking about? You're going to have to check those videos. The one where the teeth are falling out of my head. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. And just remember, if you're stuck, if you feel like your life sucks, you know how incredible you are. Do you know that you have the answers? Go inside. You got to go inside. Don't look for the answers out there. You have them. I promise you. You're going to be in awe when you answer all of the questions. So, the question, not all of the questions. Give it one question, and then pros and cons, or the upside or the downside. You decide whatever term you want to use. Thanks for being here, and remember, there is no future in our past, okay? Take all the wonderful memories, all the lessons, and leave the baggage behind. It's just too heavy to carry. You deserve the best. See you next week. Bye.